Well, finally, managed to get there in the end. Technology, wonderful things. Thanks for taking the time to join me on my channel, Nigel's View on Things. How you doing? How you keeping? Hope everybody's safe and sound where you are. What's going on? Everybody okay? Anybody can hear me? Hopefully you can. Anybody out there? Hopefully you can. Well, it appears to be working. Any rate. Hi Hopkin, how are you? Hey, much love to everybody in the room. There is a lot going on in the world. Have you noticed? Here's a story from the Express. The Express again, they managed to get all that news out there. You can see, let me show you. UK weather warning, ferocious megastorms and supermoon to spark UK-wide floods this weekend. The trouble is, we've had supermoons in the past. Why are the two related? Or are they? The weather throughout the world seems to be getting absolutely crazy. I think you can definitely agree 100%. There is something definitely not right going on. Let me get the window up. The Express, yet again. End of the world. Astronomer warns Earth will boil as the sun grows brighter and bigger. Well, make your mind up. What is actually going on? Astronomer warns Earth will boil as the sun grows bigger and brighter. Yeah. And then, yet again, the Express. Met Office long-range forecast will miserable wet weather last until November. And then from the BBC, yet again, the Express. BBC weather, Europe faces mid-October heatwave as temperatures soar above 30 degrees centigrade. They can't make their minds up what the weather's going to be like tomorrow. I think you can definitely agree with that one. And then we got this story from the Goose. Rare bright hunter's moon to be visible in Sussex this weekend. Why not all over the country? Is it just in Sussex that we'll be able to see this? And why does it make it rare? Because it's a hunter's moon. Why? It's orange. Most times when it rises, when it sets, it seems to be red. Red when it shouldn't be. Even when the sun is rising and setting, it's red. The sun itself. That should really tell us everything we need to know. There is something majorly wrong in the world. The stories, the little stories, are falling into place. People are telling us, even though they might be stupid, even though they might be insane, these stories all lead to a bigger picture and make something much larger if you're paying attention that there is something wrong in the world. One of those things that is wrong in the world is there seems to be a lot of asteroids. And if you go to Earth's busy neighbourhood, I'll leave all the links to everything that we're looking at in the description box down below. Nice and simple for everybody to find. But this is from the 15th of October. Let me just play this. And as you can see, there seems to be one or two. Now if we go over here and we go to the discovery statistics from NASA, you can see that they're either getting much better at finding these asteroids, or there seems to be a lot happening in our skies. That is, if you believe in space. I'm sure most of you do, because you're on a channel that we're dealing with incoming objects that happen to be multicoloured. One of those is red, blue and green, and we get to see those when the sun rises and sun sets. Many people are pointing this out. Many people are showing strange things in the sky, but all our cameras must be faulty. I think you can agree. Now if we go over to the impact monitoring systems that from NASA, of course, you've got to agree that they're not telling us the full story. They don't want us to know what is going on up there. I mean, if you look at this one here, it's got a 1 in 19 odds chance of hitting, well, 94.7% chance that it will miss the Earth, but 1 in 19, 5.3% chance that is going to impact Earth. And the date on that is between 2095 and 2117. Scary odds, really. And if you look at this one, 2069 to 2113, 1 in 380 odds of impact. That's 99.74% chance that the asteroid will miss the Earth. 1 in 380. That's quite a scary sort of number, really, if you think about it. But here's something that I've got to show you. Over the last few days, this has been going up and down. The other day, it was 107 number of objects that we got to see. Today, it's 48. Yesterday, it was 68. The day before that, it was 86. And as you can see down here, the times, the dates, they've only just caught most of these. I mean, just, yeah, there is something coming towards us. There's something disturbing the asteroids that are coming towards us. If we look at past impactors, we can see what it says here, asteroid 2019 MO. Number of observations, 4. 1%. Impact flag, 2. And then further on, it's 7 observations, and the impact was 99.8%. But if we click the imminent risk page just here, we can see that we've got 2 impact flags of 1. They've got a few that's been removed. Let's have a look at this top one here. You've got the probability impacting orbits, blah blah blah. I mean, it's very, very technical. But as we've just seen, is it possible that this could impact us? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? As you can see, these have actually been removed. Let's go back to Earth's busy neighbourhood and refresh the page. Speed this up a little bit. As you can see, there seems to be quite a number coming from the same direction. But if we go further down the page here, it gives us all the information that we actually need. It looks like a train station. We've got the departed on one side, the outbound on one side, and there are a number of intruders. As you go down here, it gives you all the information that you need. This one's 5 meters, lunar distance 0.41. That's quite close in the terms of space. I think you can agree. But there seems to be a bigger and bigger list day by day. I think there is definitely something going on that we're not being told about. if we go over here, as you can see, let's go to the top so we can see the date. 9th of October. On the 9th of October, there were 14 objects reported inside 10 lunar distances. Well, that is quite interesting. All the information's down here, as you can see. And lots and lots of numbers for you to go through, whatever that actually means. And on this page as well, you've got impact risk monitoring, which is the 9th of October 19. Let's just refresh this page and see what comes up. We've still got 14 objects inside 10 lunar distances, and you can see all the information just down here. And yet again, if we go down, we got the impact risk monitoring for the 12th of October 2019. If we go over to this page here, we can see that there's a report yet again from the 9th of October, and there's all the information that you need right in front of you. Like I say, I'll leave all the links down below for everybody. Let's just refresh this page. And we got 48 listings down there. On the other page there was 83. If we go up to the timelines, you can see that green is 10 lunar distances, yellow is inside SOI, orange is 1 LD, and red is less than 1 LD. And we're October 2019. It seems to be, well, it's entirely up to you. For me, the chart says that there is something definitely coming. Anyway, let's just go into the chat room. How is everybody? Good morning, Dawn. How are you? Dennis Huss? Hello, Richard. Kevin Jones? Well, it's totally different doing it live than what it is actually doing it inside, well, making your own video. Especially when you're talking to a microphone and nobody else. There you go, Dawn. I've just made you a moderator. And Hopkin? Well, we've got a few bits and pieces to go over. Nothing exciting, I've got to say. Let me just show you something, and we need to really talk about it because I think it's extremely, extremely important. And it would be this. Let me show you. I've shown this before, and I think this is very, very important. And it's from the video that I'd done. I bet you watched this twice. This is from Black Mountain, and I think it's extremely important because it actually does show the lens system up in the sky without any doubt at all. We can see our sun and sun simulator coming up. The white is definitely a sun simulator, there's no doubt about it, but as you can see on this, there seems to be a lot of lenses up in the sky hiding things. You can argue that these are smudges on the screen, but there seems to be a little bit of interaction going on. For me, it just shows that they're hiding something. I mean, what they're spraying in the skies is playing with our weather. They're modifying our weather so that we can't see actually what's in the skies. I mean, if you're looking over in California at the moment, they were talking about the electric going off and 800,000 consumers without power. And then 2 days later, there's fires all over California. What is going on there? Of course, there's nothing. The two couldn't be associated in any way, shape or form because they told everybody that the power was going to go off. But hey, for me, what we're looking at here just proves, like I say, that there is a lens system in place. It's plainly obvious. You can see it right in front of you. Every one of those dark patches on that screen is a lens system. A very, very complex lens system that's in place. That's in play. Right, going back to here, I'll put my teeth back in. We've talked about the sun simulator, and I think this is quite interesting because what colour is our sun? Our sun is orange. Now, I come across this story, and I thought this was, it's from Tennessee, the University of Tennessee in Knoxville, and I think they know what they're talking about. Down here, to the naked eye, the sun comes and goes each day exactly as it appeared the day before, round, yellow, orange, bright. Perhaps mankind's most reassuring and longest running companion. Really? We're told by many different people, many different scientists, that our sun is white, but yet the University of Tennessee is telling us that the sun is orange and yellow. But up here it says researchers employ Kraken to study solar magnetism and stellar evolution. That was easy for me to say. And if you want to know what a Kraken is, it's a legendary, I can't even pronounce that word. It's a creature, a monster from Scandinavia. It's a mythical creature, or a Kraken is a bottle of rum. So it makes you wonder why they've actually employed a Kraken to study the solar magnetism of stellar evolution. Water and computers don't really go together, but that's just me. And we can't really talk about the sun without actually talking about what this is going to happen here. Space weather technology crippling solar flare is coming, but experts don't know when. Yet again, from the Express, they seem to be on a very big downer. I think you can agree. We know that there is something going on. We know that there is something going to happen. It's just a matter of when. And why would we actually get a solar flare or an explosion of the sun? When we had the Carrington event, and I think it does actually discuss the Carrington event down here. Let's go down. biggest solar storm known to us was the Carrington event, which occurred September 1859. And I really do believe that if we were to look back, we would find that there was a comet or something going past the sun which led to an eruption of the sun and caused this event. During the solar storm, the sun unleashed a series of powerful solar flares into space that were so powerful, telegraph operators, offices experienced experienced a surge in electricity which related in some buildings setting on fire. Maybe that's going to be a bad day. But in a modern world, much more reliant on technology, the consequences could be much more severe. Well, everything we know runs on the internet. Everything runs on electric. If the internet goes down, we have no gas, we have no water, we have absolutely nothing. I find it quite strange that everything used to have its own system and used to work in its own way, but now everything is so reliant on the internet. Emma Osborne, an astrophysicist from the University of Southampton, told an audience at New Scientist Live, if it did happen, there would be a huge surge of electromagnetic radiation that would actually short circuit all the equipment on Earth. Well, yeah, and everything that we know would go down. Like I say, we'll have no electric, we'll have no water, we'll have no internet. Even in the old days when we used to have phones, those dial phones, we were able to make a call even if the electric went down, or we had a power cut, should I say, because it ran on its own system. And if there was a power cut, the water didn't go. But everything is interconnected now. This is what we've got to remember. So if something actually does happen, we are definitely 100% in trouble. Terrifying picture of the sun reveals giant sunspot. Really? Where would that be? This makes me laugh. Black hole warning. Scientists spark fears over ancient phenomena that could engulf Earth. Really? First of all, how can we see a black hole? Because it's black, and technically black holes don't exist. Mathematically, they certainly don't exist. NASA tells us that nothing can come out of a black hole, but we're actually being told by NASA something actually did come out of a black hole. That doesn't really make any sense. And yet again, another asteroid shock. Clock ticking over. Human race must leave Earth or it's over, says experts. But I think you'll find if we've got something coming towards us and it's perturbed our asteroid belt, and I do believe it has, well, this is what we're getting to see. We're getting to see an increase in asteroids and other bits and pieces. And Antarctica shock. How NASA was stunned by unexpected creature 600 feet below the ice. Now, if you've been following this story, they've actually captured this creature and brought it back. What could actually go wrong there? And NASA issues plea of action on asteroid threats that could take Earth entirely by surprise. You think? Looking up in the sky, so many people have been photographing and taking videos of things that really shouldn't be there. Getting back to the story about PG&E warns 28 out of 60 counties in California be prepared for power outages lasting 5 days. And Rick's was one of the first people to break this from the leak project. And then we have DiversityJ Lights out, California residents extremely angry as power is shut off for 800,000 customers. Like I was saying a little bit earlier, why are they shutting the power off? They said they were shutting the power off because of the high winds. But yet, there was no high winds. They didn't want to start fires. But now, all of a sudden, they have fires. It really doesn't make any sense at all. I just need to bring your attention to this. Notification 2. I'll leave the links to his channel in the description box down below. Live entity on TV, then they cut the screen. That was quite interesting in itself, but what is quite interesting is what he was showing and what he was showing it from. Turkey attacking United States ally in Syria for the second day. Well, we over in the UK weren't getting, I'm not too sure about now, but any information about the attacks in Syria. Everything is being put into plan. Every scenario, whether it'll be whatever country, there is something going on. I think you can agree. Over in America, there is one person, for me, is really hacking for a fight. Throwing his fist around and seeing who he can actually punch. You've got to ask yourself, what is he doing? He is definitely looking for a fight. Some people might like the man, but I think he's a very, very loose cannon. And there is, he's picking on Russia, he's picking on China, he's picking on everybody. For me, he's the man that's going to start something, that's going to kick something off. P900. You say that the earth is flat. For me, I don't think the earth is flat. It makes no difference if the earth is flat. It could be square, it could be pyramid shaped. It makes no difference. It could have a dome over the top of it. It still makes no difference. The thing is, at the end of the day, we've got things coming towards us and they're going to cause us a little bit of trouble. So, P900s, you say it makes all the difference. Why does it make all the difference, by chance? It makes no difference whether the earth's flat, for me, because I can see something coming towards us, and flat or not, square or not, it's still coming towards us. Evening, Natural Born Rebel, how you doing? Laura, how are you doing? Hello, little me. Anthony Mahorn. I most probably, yeah. The trouble is, there are so many people making so many different stories up and so many people believing all these different stories like in the last couple of videos, all I've been doing is bashing NASA. I think you can agree that is 100% what I've been doing, showing pictures of things that they've been taking pictures of their rovers, and how is it at all possible that they have been taking pictures? I can't see how they can be doing that. But the trouble is, when people believe something, it makes it easier for NASA. The reason that they're never going to tell us that aliens exist, and this is the main reason, is because of free energy. Wherever they come from, whether they be demonic or whatever it might be, whatever you might believe, you've got to understand they've got to use energy to come here. And for that to happen, they don't use Ford Escorts or Mustangs or whatever it might be that do 20 or 30 miles to the gallon. They use free energy. And with free energy, they're never going to tell us, because that means our lives would have to change. Everything that we understand, that we believe in, would suddenly be meaningless. They would lose control. I think you can agree on that. But hey, what do I know? I absolutely know nothing. Yes, NASA 100%, Matt, lies, but they lie to hide the truth, so that we don't actually get to find what is actually coming. Excuse me, got to light my cigarette. I know I shouldn't be smoking, but hey. Anthony, yeah, I do believe they actually went to the moon. And when they started taking photographs, and every photograph they actually took, there was something there that shouldn't be there. So what they done, they got Stanley Kubrick to make a film of the moon, and hence why we've got all this fake moon footage. Laura, I wouldn't be vaping. I don't think that stuff's good for you. We know what cigarettes do for us, yeah, which isn't good at all. But vaping is, yeah, anyway. Hello, GP. How you doing? Elizabeth Stevens. Not a lot of volume. The reason I've got my volume down is because my wife's upstairs in bed coughing her lungs up. Because everybody's got, we're all suffering with colds over here and coughing. I don't think the moon is holographic, little me, because it controls our tides. Without our moon, we wouldn't have tides. SG2 Massive, hello. Elizabeth Stevens, I hope that's a little bit better, yeah. The trouble is, we don't know if we've been to the moon, and I can't actually prove that. But the thing is, why is there such a rush to get to the moon? Even the UK is going out their way to get to the moon. Chem flu, yeah, natural born rebel, 100%. I've been suffering for the last 2 weeks, coughing and spluttering. The trouble is, a lot of people say to me that we live on a flat earth, and I can maybe understand what you're trying to say. Then they're saying that we've got a dome over us, and then space doesn't exist, and we're going to be safe. What you're trying to say to me, that we're living in a computer simulated environment, is that what you're trying to say? If the earth is flat, then absolutely fine. See, bloodlines of fire. The moon is not holographic. What they've got is a system that's in place, and I've shown this before. It seems to be spinning. I was using a thermal camera. If you go back through my videos, you can actually see that there seems to be something spinning in front of the moon. Now, that is in place so that our moon doesn't turn red, because it turns red when it's setting and rising. Because we've got a red planet coming towards us, that is why they've got this holographic projection on the moon, so it turns it into a different colour, or else our moon would actually be red all the time. Anthony, the lunar lander was made from cardboard, aluminium foil. Nice. Yeah, imminent. Yeah, orange moon this weekend. It's, let me find the story. It's the hunter's moon. That's what they're saying. Let me find that story there. And rare, bright hunter's moon to be visible in Sussex. Why just in Sussex? Why not all over the UK? That's what makes me laugh. A rare, bright orange full moon, hunter's moon, will be visible this weekend. If you fancy a spot of stargazing on Sunday evening, provided the clouds stay away, which we're in for a bit of rain, you're going to be in for a treat, because in true Halloween and autumn style, yeah, October's hunter's moon can occasionally appear in a pumpkin orange hue with a halo-like glow. Well, that's quite interesting. The orange tint occurs because the moon is closer to the horizon during its rise than any other point of the year. Really? A couple of thousand miles makes all the difference. The moon will rise just after sunset at around 6:35 and expected to be full at 10:07 p.m. Okay. So we're going to have a chocolate orange moon in the sky, and if you happen to be in Sussex and it's not raining, you should be able to see it, of course. John O'Connor, 1969, how you doing? Yes, the red glow at night, near enough every single night. It amazes me because I work outside. I've worked outside for the last 18 years, and I see and look up at the sky. It seems to change quite regularly, but there is one thing that seems to be noticeable. It happens to be red. There's red glow in the sky. Civil unrest. Right, how long do you think until Planet X reveals itself between the chemtrails? The thing about Planet X is it's space is a very, very big place, and we're not actually going to see, well, those big planets, because they're going to turn up very, very quickly, and we're told about this in writings from the Sumerians and other civilizations that have just disappeared. We might get to see the moons. If you look back in, well, from the 1970s, from 1976, well, 1970s onwards, things started to get extremely crazy, and in 400 months, which is approximately 33.3 years, our world has got warmer and warmer and warmer. And you've got to ask yourself what actually would cause that. If we've got another body or bodies coming towards us, that is going to heat it up. Global climate change, and global climate change is 100% real, 100%. The reasons behind global climate change, on the other hand, isn't what we're being told. If you look and put all the stories, like I say, together, the scientists are telling us that our solar system is starting to heat up, every single planet. Now, why would that be? Global climate change, if it only happened on Earth, that would be fine. We could put it down to CO2. But don't forget, volcanoes create a lot of CO2, a lot more than we're being told. We've got a planet or number of planets coming towards us, and they're actually heating all the planets up. Even the spot on Jupiter is starting to disperse. That's been there for years and years and years. I mean, we're talking about a pole shift. That is one of the main things that people are talking about. What would actually cause a pole shift? If you put a magnet on a table and leave it there, and there is nothing to influence that magnet, it will stay exactly where it is. Now, if you put another magnet into play and put the two together, you're either going to repel that magnet or attract that magnet. So hence, if you've got north and south opposing each other, you're going to push the magnet across the table. So getting back to Planet X, are we actually going to see it? No, I don't think so, because everything is now in place. Every conceivable thing that could possibly happen has been put and laid on the table. We could talk about Brexit, and yeah, I'm not going to even get into that discussion, but that's another scenario to keep your eyes looking in the opposite direction, like what's happening in Syria, what's happening in Russia, what's happening in Hong Kong. It's just somewhere for you to look. While you're looking over there, don't look that direction, look behind you, look up in the skies. The skies tell us everything we need to know. The chemtrails, well, of course it's not chemtrails, it's water vapour, isn't it? You know what I mean? Chemtrails don't exist. Don't be silly. But no, we are never, ever going to see those planets. Although there is some very, very compelling videos that many of people have shown of objects that are in the sky. But are they CGI'd or are they not? Mark Stevens, no, you haven't really missed a lot at all. I've just been, well, waffling, as it be. Once I actually get into a couple of live shows, now I'm sure I can get everything sorted. But this is sort of like a tester. 5G, very interesting. Yeah, John, don't even get me started on 5G. They're putting a 5G system, and when they actually put up 4G, everything that they had done has been sold before they actually installed it. With 5G, they're putting this system in place throughout the world, but hardly anything's been sold. It's costing absolute fortunes. And I can understand why they're doing it. Technically, the latency is very, very small, so you could actually control a car like Google cars and AI cars and all that. But the trouble is, they done a stadium over in America and they installed 5G, then realised that what they installed didn't actually cover the whole stadium. I think it's extremely, extremely dangerous, because the whole reason for 5G come about actually, and maybe I'll find the article in a second, but the whole idea of 5G was so they can extract DNA without actually, 5G is used for so many different things that we really haven't got a clue about and we don't understand about. Well, that's another reason that we're getting earthquakes and volcanoes, Spanish chicken, because of the objects that are coming towards us. That in itself just proves to me the activity. If you go over to Dutch Sign and look at his channel, he's telling you that the activity is getting intense. And, well, of course, you can't forecast earthquakes, can you? Not a chance. Let's go and have a look at his channel and see if he's live streaming. Let's have a look. The trouble is, I haven't been on YouTube for a couple of days. Like I say, I haven't been extremely well, so I've been coughing and spluttering. And like I say, I'll leave the links if you don't know about Dutch. He does such a good job over there. And we got the Leak project live at this particular moment in time. Save California. At the moment, I think you've got a few problems. 100%. And over here, Birmingham Skies showing something. I'm not going to play these videos because I don't want a copyright strike, and I know some of my subscribers don't mind me showing their videos, but even Jeff. Hello Jeff, how you doing? I just seen your video. JamminJammer. Fudge Factory. Interesting. And if you want to have some information, Paul Roger, if you're not subscribed, please go over and subscribe to his channel. He does such a good job in getting it out there. Let's have a look. I'm sure that I just seen. Yep, Jeff P is doing Jew Project Blue Beam, and I'll leave the links to his channel if you don't know his channel over there. Reality, not fiction. Go over and subscribe to his channel. He does some great work as well. And there's MATMAN just down there. GRC, will I be taking live calls today? I'd love to be able to take live calls. I'm just trying to get this software worked out and actually get some patter going, because yeah, it's a lot different to making a video to doing actually live. John Miller, Norway switched on 5G and fried all the birds in the park, so they switched it off again. That's nice. Robert Kaplan, hello Nige, people just need to be just need to keep on going about their day. I totally agree with that. What they need to do is educate themselves for when everything goes off, when the electric goes off. How many people know how to start a fire, actually how to cook food? Yeah, when we haven't got a microwave, a lot of people are going to starve. When we ain't got no gas, yeah, that is the trouble. Richard, anyone else notice the moon rising in different positions every night? I've actually covered this. The moon seems to be dancing around in the sky. It will set in one place and then set in another place, then go back and set into another place. It's not really what I call consistent. Bocat, I've just bought a compass. Do you reckon it still give a true reading considering the pole shift? Well, it's going to give you a true reading to where north is, but whether it's going to give us a true reading to where we should be looking north is a different matter. If you look at all the airports, all the numbers on the airports where they're landing, they're changing the numbers, and that they're actually coordinates that mark on a compass, so they know exactly where they're landing. Matt Bradshaw, the moon is drunk. Oh, I'll totally agree with that, 100%. It's really, really, yeah. Laura, the moon looks very blurry. I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but what I've noticed when I'm looking at the moon, I think my eyesight's quite good, but when I'm looking at the moon, it seems to be, I have trouble focusing on the moon because there appears to be two moons. Anybody else get that? Hi Darlene, how are you? I hope everything's alright. Yeah, you seem to have the same problem as well, that you can't, even on your camera. Okay. I sometimes take a photograph of the sky and it seems extremely blurry. It doesn't seem to focus in properly. I've actually, and anybody that's been following me knows that I've taken a few videos and I've used a filter called equalize, and when we equalize the picture it really shouldn't do anything. It doesn't put anything in, it doesn't take anything away. But then what we find is the sky seems to be totally wrong. It looks like it's holographic. Yes, the petal effect really does prove that the sun simulator is LED without a shadow of a doubt. I'm going to be making a video, I'm not going to do it live stream, of the sun simulator. I've got one clip that actually does prove that the sun simulator is an LED light. The trait of electric lights, see, each lens flare that you get is individual, just like the fingerprints on your hand, and that actually does prove to me that the sun simulator is electric, and I've shown it in so many different videos, so many other people have as well. What do I think of smart meters? Stuart Wimble's, well, smart meters, what they're doing with smart meters, what they're doing is recording everything that you use, and I think it's a very, very clever system. I haven't got a smart meter and I refuse to have one. They tried to install one and I told them to go and sling their hook. The trouble is, what it does, it records when you're using and not using your meter, and it's basically a microwave oven sitting in your hallway recording what's going on, and you're not on a quarterly meter anymore. They're actually, if you happen to use no electric during the day or very little electric, and you use all your electric at night, which is the way to go, because you get cheaper electric at night because you're on a different rate. But the thing is, if that is what's happening, they charge you a lot more extra. So yeah, it's basically another way of checking what you're doing, keeping an eye on you. Bloodlines of Fire, it's not a simulator, it's being shielded. Well, there is a lens in the way. There is a lens system that is definitely 100% there. Let me have a look and let me play you a video. Let's go back to I love the way that YouTube make it so hard to get into your videos now. It is so hard. So let's go back here and oh, by the way, yes, I've still got this coin to give away, so if you're not subscribed, obviously you are because you're here, but if you're not subscribed, you ain't going to get a chance to win this coin. I'm going to give you 4 questions, and I'm going to be making a video about this very shortly, so you've got a chance of winning this really very expensive, not very expensive coin at all, but I think it's really cool because of what it is. You might be able to trade it in when shit hits the fan. Any rate, let me just click on this one because this is what we were talking about.
There's technology in our sky.
Let me just turn that down here. There is technology in our sky, and this is part of the, let's make this a little bit bigger, and I'll play it in the background. This is the sun simulator as we can see it just here. This is the lensing system just around the outside of this, and yeah, look how red it is. Really, this black dot is not anything to do with a camera overload, not at all. Let's go back to answering some of your questions. I'll let that play in the background. Let's get over here. Kevin Cook, you love coins. I love this coin because it just rips the Joseph Bureau, how are you doing, brother? Living in unbelievable times, that is for sure, 100%. There is so much going on, there is so much information out there, and there's so much disinformation. This is what we've got to be very, very careful about, because there are many channels out there telling us a whole load of lies, and what they're trying to do is tell us their theory. All I'm doing is showing you something that I've come across on a camera and try to explain what I'm looking at. And for me, what I'm looking at is something that is 100% wrong, truly wrong. It first of all shouldn't be on camera, and they're not all camera abnormalities, lens flares. And if it was just me capturing it, then absolutely fine. But anybody can point a camera in the sky and capture something that really, really shouldn't be there. I'm just saying, very, very strange times. I'm personally trying to explain everything in a logical sense, so you could go backwards and go, oh, that maybe does sort of like make sense. Joseph, what to do? Let's talk about solutions or possible solutions. Well, there are no solutions to what's going on, because we're in a situation that we can't control. There is no way that we can control it. The trouble is, if the government's told us, and all the governments are in cahoots with each other, even if they don't like each other, they all know what's happening. I mean, look at China. They've built all these ghost cities. Why have they built ghost cities extremely high up? You know, the trouble is, what we've got to do is prepare. And what the way to prepare, because nobody actually knows what is going to happen. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to tell you that everything is going to be fine. I'm not going to tell you that the world's going to end, which I doubt very much, because what's happened has happened so many different times. And we know it's happened so many different times because there are many different civilizations that have just disappeared for whatever reason. But what we need to do is prepare for what might actually happen. And really, truthfully, we don't know what's going to happen. So food, water, get all those things that you think we need. You know, there's going to be no electric, there's going to be no sanitation, there's going to, just use common sense. If we get a Carrington event or an EMP, would you be able to tell the difference, by the way, between an EMP and a sun event? You know, we couldn't tell the difference. So if they wanted to knock out everything in one go, they could just fire one of those missiles up into the sky, boom, and off you go. Everything's gone dead, and all we know it's come from the sun. Of course, they would never do that to us now. But the thing is, of course they would, because when something is going on, they don't want it to spread. This is why they're clamping down on social media, so that we can't really communicate. They don't want us to tell the world what's going on. Solder biscuits. I've seen this object over the last 4 days and it's getting bigger and brighter. Yeah, there seems to be a couple of new objects in the sky, but yeah, the sky seems to be changing day by day. I don't know if I look at the sky at night and it changes colour One day it'll be really, really dark. Another night it will be like a blue. Then it will be a brown, and then it will go back to as it should be. And then I've only seen the Milky Way maybe twice this year. Mark Stevens, I bought one of those magnesium flint and steel things. Yeah, that is very, very good for starting a fire. That is one of the things that you really do need. Learn how to start a fire without matches or gas. Alan Staudel, how you doing, brother? The problem is people don't understand common sense, and no, they certainly don't. They watch YouTube videos and they get told so many different things, that this, that, and they don't actually go through things logically, and they can get themselves in big, big trouble. Susan Mann, how you doing, sister? Civil unrest, perhaps. The civil unrest, perhaps they are calling angels aliens and want us to fight the angels. The thing is, they've been talking about an alien, a fake alien invasion. What happens if this fake alien invasion is absolutely real? The universe is such a big, diverse place, and there are so many different things out there. I think that they're here watching us, and they've been watching for a very, very long time. If you look at all the hieroglyphs that are in caves, they tell us that there is something going on. So, to say there's going to be a fake alien invasion, I think the alien invasion, well, maybe some people would argue that we're the aliens on this planet. Demons are aliens. Well, Laura, it is possible. Who knows? Who actually knows? Ooh, excuse me, I must apologise. I'm just reading the comments here, so, sorry, just talk amongst yourselves. Matt Bradshaw, higher dimensional beings is what I'm worried about. Well, the trouble is we don't actually know as a human race anything about what we're told. We just don't understand. We only know about 1%, and the other 99% is made up and lies. All these beings, whether they be interdimensional, higher dimensional, aliens, are they bad? Throughout life I've come across good and bad, so you know, where there's good there must be bad, obviously. John O'Connor, 1969. Hey Nige, do you see 1111? Don't know what you mean, brother. Or understand what you mean, should I say. Must apologise. Hopkin, thank you very much. If you need to go, you need to go. Thank you very much, sister, and thank you so much for all your hard work. I'd like to thank everybody for being here and watching, my first live stream, and hopefully it'll get better with time. Stuart Wimbles. We are definitely not told the whole truth. We're told many different lies to protect ourselves from the truth. Because, as you say, we couldn't... Yeah, the trouble is, a lot of it is to do with free energy. They don't want us to have free energy. That is the most important thing. Joseph, stick a link to your channel down below, mate. You're quite welcome. GRC, your voice is so soothing. How do you talk like that? Actually, I'm a lazy talker. I have to correct myself a lot, and also having a chest infection doesn't really help. And me sitting here smoking cigarettes really doesn't help. So thank you very much for that. Earl Calloway, read the Bible, the truth is in it. The trouble is, Earl, right, if we want to talk about the Bible, and I mean no disrespect to anybody that's listening that believes in the Bible, it is a very interesting book, or many different books, and this is where it becomes a little bit touchy, and many people might argue this. We keep diaries at this particular moment in time. Well, most people do, and that is basically what I see the Bible to be. It's a diary. The trouble is, it's being manipulated by man. It's being played with, and not everything in it is so true. I'm not saying it's a lie, but the trouble is, it's a diary of what happened in the past, and it's just been written into many different books. So the trouble is, well, it's up to you. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. And don't believe what I say, because it's just my theory, and hey, what do I know? P900 Coolpix, the Bible isn't literal, it's a code. I totally believe that, because there are so many books, and if they were all put in the right order, I think it would tell us a lot more. Little me, I have studied the Bible, and I find it extremely interesting. The trouble is, there are so many different books, and they all seem to be written by one person. That's the thing that gets me. I'm just saying, it all seems to be written in the same way. Not by different people that I would expect to be written in. Like one book seems to be written like another book that seems to be written like another book. Like I say, it's all stories that, for me, should be all different, and they are, but they seem to be written by the same person. I'm just saying. bloodlines of fire. I totally agree with you, because there have been more wars fought over religion, yeah, than anything else. End of story. That is 100%. Well, we're 1 hour and 15 minutes into this live stream, and I would like to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to come and see me. It's been really, really appreciated. And thank you very much for watching my videos. Mark Anthony, you're bad at. Yeah, well, I'd like to think so. I'm really winging this 100%. I'm really trying to get this sorted, and yeah, because I work on my own a lot, I don't actually get to speak to a lot of people. So doing a live stream is something totally different. Laura, you're very welcome, and God bless you too. Awesome, I don't think so. I'm just a regular person, just like me and you, and all I'm doing is showing things that really shouldn't be on camera. Mark Anthony, you're very welcome. Like I say, thank you very much to everybody for turning up. It's really appreciated. I'm going to hopefully get this all sorted. I've got a few more videos to do, but unfortunately I haven't been on YouTube over the few days because I haven't been too well at all. Before I go, has anybody got anything or any interesting information that they would like to share? Harp, do I get harassed at all? Yes, I do. I get harassed quite a lot, and one thing I have actually noticed is, funny enough, the lack of trolls over the past couple of months. They sort of like either left me alone and found somebody else to go play with, or that, yeah, if they wanted to harass me, they could just push a button and turn me off. I done a couple of practice videos over the past couple of days, and I was listening to music in the background, and strangely enough, they actually yeah, I got a strike on my channel for it, which got removed because I deleted the video straight away, but very interesting. Yes, Nigel, I've had way too much Stella. Not good for you drinking, 100%. I work in security, and yeah, what we deal with is people that get drunk, and unfortunately people that are very good friends fall out because they've had one too many drinks, and yeah, it becomes extremely ugly. So drinking, I'm not keen. I might have a drink every now and then, but my drink of choice is a cup of coffee. Alan Alan, yeah, bottom line, we're all free to choose, created or evolved. We're beautiful to be accidental. I don't think anything in this life is accidental. I think it's all planned out for us. But the path we actually choose to walk is our own. Miss Wilson, have you seen all sort of fake planes? I've seen some very, very strange things in the sky. Or yes, I've seen many different strange things in the sky. Like I said, for the last 18 years I've been working outside, and sometimes I have to look twice, and I've taken pictures and videos and it hasn't been there. John O'Connor, yes, because it's quite funny actually. Spheres are fake planes. There's many, many videos out there of chemtrails that are being made by what doesn't appear to be planes. They look like UFOs or whatever they might be. I have friends in Poland that smack the bottom of a bottle of vodka before opening it to remove demon. What is that? Not really too sure. Civil unrest, what I'll do, I'll put me email address at the bottom after the video is finished, and so everybody can send me bits and pieces. Unfortunately, me email box looks like a car crash at this particular moment in time, so you'll might have to wait a little bit before I actually get round to looking at some of this stuff. John, yes, I made a video about this. Have you seen the spheres outside the UN and the Vatican? In fact, there's 7 that have been made, and very interesting ones at that. Now, if you've been watching the video up, we've been looking at the moon and through the thermal camera. I did ask people if they got a thermal camera to go outside and video the moon through the thermal camera. For me, there is something in front of the moon. There's technology. Like I say, when I look at the moon, I've got very, very good vision, but when I look at the moon, I seem to see 2 objects. I find it quite strange, but hey, what do I know? I know nothing. Alan, if we knew our phones were actually killing us, we would stop using them. Yeah, that's what you get for having a microwave in your pocket, unfortunately. 2.4 gigahertz, and that is what your microwave runs on, and also a mobile phone runs on 2.4 gigahertz. So basically, every time you've got it in your pocket, you're cooking whatever part of your body that you've got it on. Well, congratulations, Sunfire Sky, an ex-smoker of 30 a day. The trouble is, everybody that I know that's given up smoking has had very bad side effects. But hey, not everybody does. Glenn Jackson, we're only making plans for Nigel XTC. excellent record. Bloodlines of Fire. The moon is an Andromedan biosphere, damaged and parked up and cloaked for 12,800 years. Funny you should say that, actually, because we're told by Socrates that it's suddenly one day, I think it's Socrates, one of those, that it just turned up in our skies. It hasn't always been there, it's just something that appeared overnight. Smoking, yeah. The trouble is with smoking, I've smoked since I was, well, about 11 years old, and I'm 52, well, 54 now. I'm trying to make myself younger than what I actually am. And, yeah, it's definitely not good for you. But what they're spraying in the skies definitely ain't good for us either. That is 100%. Good evening, man plus fan. How you doing, brother? I hope all is well. Yes, apart from the chest infection. Natural born rebel, poisoning our food, our air and our water. Yeah, well, they've sprayed us with so much stuff now that we don't really stand a chance. The trouble is we have poisoned every point of this, or every part of this earth. Milk gives us cancer. Really? Well, I'm in trouble then. The trouble is, I don't know if anybody's noticed that cancer used to be a very, very hush-hush sort of word. Now it's one of those, it's just like getting a common cold. Everybody I know seems to be suffering with a cancer. In fact, I've actually myself had cancer. I'm 22 years clear now. And my surgeon's name was Mr. Christmas. Yeah, you don't need to believe me, but that's why I certainly don't like Christmas. He hit me with a transit van. Well, anyway, we won't actually get into that. Oh, it certainly is an everyday word, Stuart. Yeah, unfortunately. The trouble is, what they're spraying in the skies, David, is giving us cancer without a shadow of a doubt. Well, if you're looking at the video now, you can actually see the technology actually spinning in front of our moon. That isn't our moon. Look, there you go. We could. I'm looking at yeah, Pac-Man. That shouldn't be happening. I think they're taking the mick out of us. There is technology in front of our sun. There's technology in front of our moon, and there's technology in front of our moon to stop our moon going red. Miss Wilson, yes, well, like I said, for the last 18 years I've been working outside and at night, and I've noticed the sky has changed dramatically in the last 4 to 5 years, and in the last 2 years it's become unrecognisable. It, for me, has now become an alien sky. Yes, what they're spraying in the sky, Valiant One, is giving us Alzheimer's and dementia and all those other bits and pieces that people are suffering with. What they're trying to say is that we're living too long, and that's what's causing all these bits and pieces. But it's what they're spraying. Horton's 1967, Mr. MBB 333 is a great sky watcher, and I totally agree with it, what you're saying there. But the trouble is, he will not say specific things, which really annoys me. And I can understand why he's doing that. Maybe he's trying to protect his channel. But the pictures that he shows really are out of this world. It just proves that, well, yeah. Janet Young, the Bible says in the last days we will see signs in the moon, sun and the stars. And that's exactly what we're seeing at this particular moment in time. Like I say, our skies have changed in such a way that I'm looking at alien skies half the time. They don't actually remind me of planet Earth. Mark Anthony, yes, the inbound system will overwhelm their technology, and it is actually at this particular moment in time. We're getting red sunrises like I've never seen before, and sunsets, and people, you know, there is an old saying, red sky at night, shepherd's delight, red sky in the morning, sailor's warning, and we know that it only happens every now and then, but hey, it's just one of those things. Of course, that wouldn't be possible because our governments would have told us if there was something coming. And no, they wouldn't. They're trying to protect us from us. That is it. End of story. Yes, John O'Connor. 5G, there's a lot more to 5G than we're being actually told. It makes me wonder if they're going to use that as a projection system, but I believe they're already using a projection system in the sky. Dawn Morning, 101 thumbs up, 99 watching. Well, 103 watching now. Hey. Kevin Jones, yes, Mr. MBB333 is excellent. He does some great pictures, and that's down to his subscribers, but the way he does it, I think, is, yeah. I think, really, if you're watching his channel, it gives you some sort of indication what's going on around the world, because he's getting pictures from absolutely everybody. There seems to be, Stuart, yes, 100%, there seems to be a lot of craft that are up in the skies, triangles and many other bits and pieces. There's some very, very strange cloud punches. I don't know if anybody's noticed. Natural Born Rebel, yeah, 5G, I'll put my teeth back in, 5G can fry us all in a second. Well, they're using frequencies, I do believe, between 24,000 hertz and 48,000 hertz, and that is definitely going to cook your dinner in about 3 seconds. That is definitely for sure. Ellie Mae, everything seems to have changed. Everything seemed to change in 2012. Do you not agree? No, I actually say from about 1976 it started to change, and I was quite a youngster then, but from about 2011, 2012, as you're saying, we've seen some very, very big changes. In the last 2 years, our skies has definitely changed. Right, we're 1 minute 35 seconds into the 1 minute 35 seconds, 1 hour and 35 minutes into the video, and I'm going to call it a day. I would like to thank each and every one of you for all the great comments. Really, really appreciated, and hopefully I'll get better at this as I go along. It's quite strange just talking to a microphone and not have any sort of like feedback. Before you all disappear, I would like to ask you, if you want me to go on to somebody's show, or you would like me to interview somebody, who would it be? Who would you like me to talk to? Who would you like me to, well, or whose show would you like me to be on? Anyway, thank you very much for sending all the pictures in. I'll get round to going through my emails very, very shortly. It is absolutely a car crash in there. I would like to thank each and every one of you for taking the time, 1 hour and 35 minutes out of your day to sit here and listen to me waffle on and on. It's really, really appreciated. And much love, much peace. And watch out for this Sun Simulator video. I think you're going to find that quite interesting. At any rate, it's time for me to go. Much love, much peace. Take care.